So let's start this off with a little prayer.
All right.
You can close your eyes, you can keep them open, but want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude, how truly grateful I am to be here right now in Peru on this retreat with you, to be supported by these sacred medicines that I am still in awe of every single day, every single time I get to communicate with them and let them guide me, let them guide us. Thanking Mother Earth, Pachamama, thanking God, trusting God, and then also just allowing those spirits, allowing our plant guides to help guide this conversation, to have their energy, their emotions, their words, if they could speak, allow that to move through us for this podcast, whatever we might talk about, whatever comes up, accepting it fully for what it is, without judgment, without fear, without guilt, without shame, and attuning to the light and attuning to the love that exists underneath it all. And with that, I would like to welcome everybody to the Being Human and Shit podcast. This is episode number 2. However, I actually filmed this third, and if you watch the third one, I talk about how I filmed that second. But the reason why this is the second episode is because my guest today is one of my best friends. Oh my God, I'm already tearing up again. That I've known for over 2.5 years now. He was with me on my first ayahuasca retreat. That just truly changed my life. And he was the second guest ever on the Trip Sitting podcast. So I figured it was only right to give him... That chair almost fell. To give him not the number 1 spot, of course, but to give him once again the number 2 spot.
Sounds good to
me.
me.
It was just it just felt too right. His name is Kevin Owens. He is one of the facilitators here at this retreat that I'm on for Sowa Charana. Also, thank you to the Sowa Charana team, Kevin included, everybody, for just every single fucking thing that they have done for us this week. I cannot recommend a better place for anybody to go and sit with this sacred medicine. They are like world class, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to him and doing this. Like, this is I've been on many retreats now with many different types of facilitators and stuff like that, and I've never had like a bad experience or been like, oh, I wouldn't do that. But as far as which one I have connected with the absolute most, it's without a doubt you guys. Yeah, you guys are insane. You guys are amazing.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I fucking love it. But yeah, man, welcome back.
Yeah, happy to be back. It's so amazing that we get to do this again, but this time in person.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, also we haven't seen each other in those 2.5 years. The first time we met at Dreamglade, and so I'm so happy you're here. We're here. We can finally do this in person, and just be in each other's energies. And the last 1.5 weeks of retreat, it's just been so amazing.
Yeah, man, it really is crazy. And I know you've said this too, and it really, like, it strikes me every time. But you know, we met each other and knew each other for about 2 whole days.
Yes.
when we first met, and those 2 whole days were enough for us to literally stay in contact with each other. I mean, probably at least like once a month throughout, 2.5 years. And I said this to you actually after the first ceremony, but like, expressing again my gratitude for you in being so influential in my decision to like stay on this path and then also fucking like move to Peru, because like you were the one in my mind that like trailblazed it, because after the retreat you went back to Germany and, you know, lived your life like a normal person, and then was like, oh, I'm gonna go back. Yeah. What made you like know that you wanted to do that?
So the first time I drank ayahuasca and all the amazing mystical experiences I had aside, what really impressed me and inspired me to come down here was just the fact of how the approach with ayahuasca in the Shipibo tradition, how they work with that medicine and how holistic that process of healing is. Like everything is taken into account, everything is connected, like the mind, your memories, your experiences in life, your feelings, your emotions, energy. And in an ayahuasca retreat, all those areas are covered and are tackled in different ways. And I see the big three parts as body, the mind, and energy. And so
would the energy also be like the same as spirit, or is that different than spirit?
Yeah, I think working on energy also works on spirit. But just the way our maestra Lydia, the curanderos in that tradition work, they talk more about energy when they do energetic healing. And that's what's happening a lot in ceremony. That's what's happening outside with the help of the medicine and plant diets. And maybe you've already gone into this with your audience.
That's okay. They can hear it again. I don't think we have actually.
And so this is the main part of what the curandero or the curandera are doing, the healers. And also when it comes to body issues, physical ailments, they help with massages and some kind of like energetic massages, or bone setting, or putting like organs back into the right place.
That sounds painful.
And and then the emotional side, that's the big part. All the people who come and drink ayahuasca, that's like their big part. The medicine and the facilitators and the curanderos, they can help a lot with whatever energetic and physically is going on. And especially our job as facilitators is really helping people through the emotional process. And everything is connected. So some people, they come and they have, like I had when I came the first time, like just a back and neck pain. And it came from carrying so much weight on my shoulders, emotional weight.
Yeah.
And that was caused by certain events and memories and traumas. And by working on the emotional side, I got those physical issues fixed. And also there was definitely an energetic component that needed to be fixed. And so this is for me the holistic healing cycle of this medicine. Whatever you start with, you can start with the energetics. That's going to help with physical issues. And then you're going to resolve emotional, or you got the other way around, or whatever. And
it's like however the medicine sees that it needs to happen, it's going to make that happen.
And the process looks very different for everybody.
Yeah, it does.
But that was just so impressive to me, how I was able in just 2 weeks to go so deep in myself. And for me, then it was I just want to learn more. This just feels something I'm really interested in, which I haven't had in many years before I came to ayahuasca. I was like, I haven't been that passionate about something. And so I went back to Germany after my first experience. And about a year later, I came back to Peru. And I didn't have a big plan of moving here or whatever. I was just like, I'm just going to go back to the ayahuasca center I'm going to do 4 weeks. I'm going to do a whole month, 12 ceremonies, and just see how deep I can go with like healing and helping myself, but also learning more about what's this whole work of like energy and the plants and dietas and everything. And yeah, after the month, I realized I just want to stay here and learn more. It's just this just feels right, and that's what I want to learn and pursue for the next period of time. But it was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna stay here or if I'm gonna just be here for 1 more month and then go back, or didn't have really a plan. And that was 1.5 years ago, and I'm still here. So that's how I got here.
That's an objectively crazy thing to do. Like, just from like a normal person perspective, like, at least I'm sure the way that you probably grew up in Germany, you know, relatively similar to probably the same indoctrination and expectations that I had in the United States. But like, you know, going and moving off to another country and studying plant spirits and energetic healing isn't really on the career path.
Exactly. Yeah. Very unconventional.
I think this is a good segue, just because it's very much on my mind, and something that you helped me through quite a bit last night. I should mention, I forgot to mention this before, but we sat in our 5th ayahuasca ceremony of the 2-week retreat last night. And that ceremony for me was, I guess, to sum it up in what you said, is the antidote for fear is trust. And I'm curious, what was it like for you when you really learned that lesson? Like, how did that come about? How were you able to just like so quickly see what I was going through and just be like, oh yeah, here you go. Granted, that didn't just immediately fucking work. I had to beat myself up for the next 5 fucking hours before I was able to really make some progress and actually learn what trust felt like. But I knew that he was right when he said it. And I'm curious if you had, if you know, was it similar, or like, were you just like, oh, no, I just trust, and, you know, you don't have to beat yourself up?
No, definitely not. Yeah, it was a long process, and also that process with everything we're working on, it's never gonna be totally finished. There's always like deeper levels you can go. But yeah, I was struggling a lot after my first time drinking ayahuasca and then coming back into my old environment. And but the big difference was, before I came and drank, I was totally unaware of all of the unhealthy behaviors and thought patterns. And after I came back, I was in the same environment, but I was different. And so whenever I would fall back into those old patterns, I would catch myself way faster, or even get aware at all. Oh, I'm doing this again. Oh, and after a couple of months, the biggest lesson in this for me was, in probably the first month, I was like, so when is this process of integration finally end? When can I finally live my life again? And the big realization here was, integration never ends. There might be a point where I fully understand all of the lessons I learned in those 6 ceremonies I had, and really make changes in my life and implement them. But integration for me, I had to realize this is a daily process. Every day I have to integrate yesterday. Every lesson I learned yesterday I have to implement today, and the same thing for tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. So integration never ends. And that was really helpful for then being able to chill out. It's okay if I don't journal for a day, or don't meditate for a day. And then I found so much more compassion and having so much more grace for myself. And therefore, it just made it so much easier to fall back into an old pattern and not beat myself up. But I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I could like snap out of it way easier. And after a couple of months, I was like, this is just not for me anymore. The life I had, living where I was living, and I've always was like traveling, but not so much because I was interested in seeing new things, but I was looking for something. I was on a search. And yeah, coming to Peru and drinking ayahuasca, I was like, that's what I've been looking for all of my life. And it wasn't necessarily ayahuasca, and it wasn't necessarily Peru, but it was a feeling I was able to feel for the first time in my life that I experienced in an ayahuasca ceremony. And it was the feeling of being home, but not home in a place or a country, but home within myself. For the first time, just feeling home. And taking that feeling back, I realized now wherever I go, I'm home. So I was like, yeah, I love my family, I love my friends, but I am the most important person in my life, and I have to take care of myself. And I wanted to nurture and expand that feeling of being home in order to then also share that with someone. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Peru, where it all like started, and yeah, see where that leads me. And there was a lot of fear. Moving out of my apartment and selling some of my stuff and not having a plan, not having unlimited amount of money to stay forever, and like a lot of fear, a lot of worrying, a lot of self-doubt. I was like, can I even like pull this off? What is it even that I want to pull off? And but I was like, it doesn't matter. If I go down there and I come back after 2 months, that's also okay. I have nothing to lose, right? I can only win. I can only gain something. And if it's just new experiences, meeting new people, and therefore new opportunities arise, perfect. And coming to terms with, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. The outcome doesn't matter. And that is, for me, a big part of trust. Trusting yourself that I can handle whatever. And I've been doing that for all of my life. Sometimes I need help, and I have people around me to support me. But also, I've proven so many times that I can take care of myself. And I can actually trust myself. And I just have to practice that. And do that over and over again, and put me into situations where I was like, I don't think I can do this. And then after I was like, that was not scary at all. There was like no reason to doubt myself. And so like training that muscle of trusting, no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah.
And therefore, yeah, doubt has no place anymore in that space. It's like you fill up your whole being with trust, nothing else can be in there. There's no place, there's no space anymore for doubt or for fear. And that's a process of the last 1.5 years, really developing that. And yeah, there are moments where I like still feel the fear or feel the doubt, but I don't see them as scary anymore. I don't see them as bad. For me, every emotion, when everybody gets to a point where they have a healthy relationship with an emotion, that emotion is going to be your guide, your helper, your advisor. That's what emotions are supposed to be. We are emotional beings. And that's one of the points of being alive, living this life as a human being. It's experiencing emotions, and having those emotions actually help you experience the whole spectrum of what it means to be human. And therefore, whenever fear or doubt comes in, I can just check in. It's like, so what are you trying to tell me? Am I not trusting myself? Am I not trusting someone else? Am I not trusting the process? And like really quickly see, oh, they're all messengers.
Yeah.
When I get angry, it's like, okay, who crossed the boundary? That's for me anger. It's like really showing, okay, there's something that's not sitting right with me. And it's like, either did I cross a boundary or did someone else cross a boundary? You have to reevaluate boundaries. And so in that way, every emotion is just a messenger.
Yeah.
And that is a big part of also what we do here at the retreat, how we talk about emotions and reframing certain things and giving people a different perspective on how to look at certain things.
Yeah.
And therefore just develop a whole new relationship with themselves.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was so eloquent. What that brought up for me, and particularly one of the things that you said at the beginning, is like it's a process of like training that muscle, and it's not something that like, oh, you just kind of like deal with and then it goes away and it's not there anymore. But like really made me think back to this ceremony that I had before I came to Peru, in which like I'm now really remembering like fear was also another thing, and like trust was also a big part of that, but it was more specific to do with trust in ayahuasca itself, like trusting her to like hold me and guide me and do those things. And it was a fucking huge lesson. Again, I beat the shit out of myself for 9 hours at that point, and was on my hands and knees begging for mercy, because that's how I deal with things, as every normal person does. But that was like, it was like, okay, I trust you, like, thank you, I'm grateful, I trust. And then this time around, it was like the layer deeper. Like, it was like, okay, now it was, I mean, the big thing was like the trust in God. And then in that trust in God, it was like the trust in myself. But like, man, I was just like cracking up because, I talk about God and I say I believe in God and all those things. And I say I trust God. But like, I was cracking up because I'm like, God, like, dude, am I really one of those motherfuckers now that just says like, yes, I trust God with all my heart? Like, I used to look at those people like fucking idiots when I was a kid. Like, who the fuck do you think you are trusting God with your shit? Like, take control, pussy. And now I'm fully one of those people that just has to do it. And I know it's not gone. The fear still comes up, but this also brings up just this other thought that I had. Like, one thing that I love about these ayahuasca spaces is that the advice that you get is so like opposite of like typical advice that you get in like a Western mindset type of thing. And like specifically, nobody necessarily gave me this advice yesterday, but like Ben kind of brought it up. But I was sitting there like dealing with this fear and like feeling it, and like I've gone through the tools, and I'm trying my best here, trying to purge it out, and it's not coming up. trying all the tricks in the book and something like that, and until eventually I just got to the point where like, the advice is like, have you tried giving up? Like, and but like to a normal person, it's like, wait, what? Like, yeah, no, you should just fucking give up the fight. Like, that to my logical mind, that still doesn't make any sense. Like, I knew that was the right answer pretty much the whole time from the beginning. It's like, I know I have to stop fighting. I know I have to stop resisting. And then it was like, but I don't know. I didn't know how to trust is the thing. Like, I've never had that deep trust in myself. Like, that was it. Like, really, really trusting myself before. And it was interesting too, because one of the things that Britt said, when she was talking about how like fear comes up for her, and how she said something about being like, you know, and I feel like a lot of people are like afraid of the fear. Whereas for me, it was almost like the exact opposite. Like, I was never afraid of the fear. It was that I've known this fear my entire fucking life. So like, I was comfortable with the fear. Like, that's all I've known is living with that fear. And so like, the scary thing for me was like letting go of the fear and like trusting. And like, it's making me emotional, like thinking about it. 'Cause it's like it was so, that fear was so deeply embedded into all of the cells in my body. Like, I could feel it. I literally went back to when I was fucking taking my first steps last night and having the fear be there as like my motivator. And that was like, this is it. Like, this fear is now with me since I was like a baby. And so letting the fear come up and be like, you know what? I don't choose to allow this to be my motivator anymore. I don't want this to be the thing that controls all of my moves. Like, I want trust to be the thing, and I choose to trust. And then when the fear comes up, now I know, okay, just trust, and just do that. But it was funny too, just because I knew trust was the answer. And so I was like, you know, I trust, let the fear come up, but like, I don't fucking mean it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what that meant at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, like you said, is like, I knew I had to stop the fight. And yeah, when we talk about fighting, for me, there's never a winner.
Yeah.
We only win if we stop fighting. And a lot of the times, I have a very simple advice in theory. It's very hard in practice, but it's just 2 words. Stop it. There are so many things we do that don't serve us, and all we have to do is stop doing them. And that is the hardest part, because this is what we know. Like, that fear, it's been there all your life and you're so familiar with it. And it's actually scarier to stop feeling your fear, because it could always get worse. It could always get better, but at least if I stay in the fear,
I know what it is.
Or if I stay in that unhealthy relationship, or if I stay in my shitty job, it's like, at least I already am used to the suffering and already know, yeah, that's just what it is. And I'm just afraid that it could get worse, even though there's a very big chance it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Because in the end, kind of similar to me overcoming my fear of going down here to Peru, it's like, you can always go back.
Yeah.
You can always go back to an unhealthy relationship. You can always go back to a shitty job. It's like,
I can always go back to letting fear control all of my decisions. It's always an option.
Yeah, it's always an option. So you can always just stop doing something, try something else. Oh, it didn't work. I'm just gonna go back to feeling shitty. If that's what you want to do, you can always do that. In practice, you can't. You can never go back. If you're really doing that work, you can never go back.
Yeah.
And yeah. And you asked me, like, how long did it take me to realize how to overcome fear? I mean, it took you from last night till now, right?
Well, I mean, like, one could say that, or one can say that it took me 28 something years.
Yeah. But from I don't know how to trust to. Now I have a understanding how it works.
Now I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I didn't have that feeling before. And like again, it came at the point where I was like again, I had to try everything else before I really knew like I knew trust was the answer, but it's like, well, maybe I can try this little thing over here and purge it out of me and the fear's just going to be gone. Maybe I can try this, and this. And it was quite literally until I had exhausted every single fucking option that like, I have literally no choice but to just trust. There's no other fucking option now. That's the only thing it's now the only logical thing to do is to trust, which again, still to my mind is like, God damn it. Like, I just didn't want you to be right so bad.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah, man, it's funny. It's funny looking at all these things, and I love to laugh about them too. You know, like I beat myself up for 5 hours, and then the last hour of the ceremony, I was cracking up the whole time.
Yeah.
Because like it's objectively funny. Like the things that we do to ourselves to save ourselves from ourselves is like this like mental fucking loophole where we're just kicking our own ass the whole time.
Yeah. It's just madness.
So how many times do you think you drank ayahuasca now? Like if you really had to guesstimate. Like I know you said triple digits, but I really want you to think about it.
I stopped counting, but a little bit over 100.
Okay.
Maybe like 110, 120 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. I can't wait to get there one day.
Well, not everybody has to get there.
No, they don't. But
definitely not for doing work on themselves.
Yeah.
But for me, helping others through that process, that is just a big part for me to like constantly be in that space. And with every ceremony I learn something new, how to navigate that experience myself and help someone else through. And it's just work experience. And that's just part of my work.
What's your favorite part about doing this? Like if you had to like try to sum up like why do you do this? Like what's the thing that you just like fucking love about it?
I would say my favorite part is not just seeing the change in people coming here, but also being aware of the impact and the reach our work has. Because this retreat we have 9 guests, and they don't just come here for themselves. Like they do all the work for themselves, and they need to be prioritizing that. But in the process of them healing certain parts, being able to make changes in their lives, they're gonna impact so many more people. And so them being here, and for me, ayahuasca is probably one of the most intense experiences you can go through in life. And they do that and have those really, really intense experiences just facing their deepest, darkest shits. And that in of itself is just so courageous. But then those 9 people from this retreat, they go out there, and every conversation they have, every word they speak, every song they sing, they're gonna spread a little piece of that healing to someone else and inspire someone else to do something. And they're gonna inspire someone else, and they're gonna inspire someone else. And 9 people coming here can change the lives of 100, 1,000, 10,000, even more people. Just all the work you 9 people are doing here, this can spread like a positive, like healing virus. And a lot of people, for many reasons, they can't come here and drink ayahuasca. And so everybody who comes here also does that work for so many other people. And our world, our planet needs so much healing. And just that fact that just a handful of people can come down here and change the lives of thousands of people, this is just the most amazing thing for me.
It's beautiful. I want to ask you about your singing.
Yes.
And because one, it's beautiful, and I love hearing a German man singing Shipibo. There's just something special about it. Especially too, it's like, and we talked about this morning, or we've talked about it before, but like there's certain songs that people will sing, and then you'll notice in the room like everyone starts purging, or like everyone starts doing something.
Yeah.
And like I want to hear from your perspective, and someone who's been training in all of this, like why does that happen, and like what is the singing there to do, the singing of the Icaros?
So like I mentioned in the beginning, what the curanderos and ayahuasca ceremonies are doing is a lot of energetic work. And when it comes to Shipibo, the easiest way to describe it is they sing what they see in their visions. And so when Lydia sees an energy that's not serving someone, whatever that looks like, she doesn't see, oh, this is connected to this emotion, this is whatever. It's like, no, the medicine shows her this is an energy that's not serving that person. And a big part of what I see the work we are doing here is, that's why we call Lydia a curandera. That word means healer. And that is also her way of working. It's not just, oh, there's a bad energy, I have to destroy it. That's not what we do. So when she's singing, she sings, oh, I see that bad energy, and I wash that energy. I bring healing to that energy. I bring healing to the person who has been suffering from being around that energy. And then I send it away, and I ask the medicine to send it away nicely. To whenever it leaves, wherever it goes, it's not going to be the same anymore. It's going to be transformed. It's going to be not affect people in a way it was affecting them before. Because what is the point of getting an energy out and just flies out and goes to somewhere else and causes them issues? Then we're not doing healing. And so when certain energies leave, they were there for a purpose. But it came to a point where it wasn't serving that person anymore. But it was there for a purpose. It was teaching them a lesson. It was maybe bring them here and heal so many other parts of themselves. So, and therefore, yeah, that energy was helpful, but it's not helpful anymore. And when that process is happening, what needs to happen on an energetic level is that energy needs to be felt. And that's what we call a purge. It's like feeling the energy by feeling when it goes, when it leaves. That's that release. And that can happen by crying, burping, yawning, vomiting, shitting,
Laughing,
or all
That's my
all
favorite
those
one.
things at the same time.
Call me Cackling Cam.
And so that's why people like feel that. And that's why, yeah, there's that release. And also acknowledging, feeling it leaving. And it's like, okay, thank you. You served a purpose. And yeah, that's why those songs are like physically impacting people in the ceremony. And also for me, it's not just the words, but it's also like the energy and the intention behind it. Because I not only sing Shipibo, but also I sing a lot of Sanskrit mantras. And a lot of the times what the mantra does, it's not fully corresponding with the actual translation of the words. There's like an underlying energy, underlying agenda that song has and that song is doing. And also certain notes and tones, volumes, intensity. It's just like rattling things up in people. And yeah, and when those things leave, there's a purge happening.
So like when you're singing these songs, like, do you know how it's gonna sound as it's coming out, or is it like literally just like you're just following whatever the fuck is there?
Yeah, my songs, they always come out differently.
Yeah.
Like not totally different, but like I said, with Shipibo, it's like you sing what you see. So therefore, the song is like kind of improvised. You never sing the same words in the same order, but there's a melody you follow, and that's also like the energy behind the words. With the mantras, most of the time, I sing the words in a similar order, but by now I have also pretty good understanding from like just sitting and learning and meditating a lot with those mantras, that sometimes other words from different mantras come in, or different phrases, or combining certain things. But yeah, there's like I said, there's a melody that song is following, but the way it comes out is always very different. And sometimes words come out a bit different, a different like ending or a different intensity. Sometimes like gets like very quiet and soft, and it gets like loud and intense. And but it's not, I'm not controlling that. It's like just coming through me. I'm not really singing a song. It's more like that song needs to be embodied, and I'm the vessel for that. And a lot of the times when I have like a new song, in the beginning it's like, yeah, I don't have a full relationship, and I really have to get used to that song and how it wants to come out. And when I can be like fully give up the control and just let it come through, a lot of the times I'm very surprised. I'm like, whoa, that's how my voice can sound.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think I know the answer to this question, but I just want to ask you because I want an answer to it, and I've never asked anyone before. But if anyone's ever worked with a shaman, you probably hear them do this all the time, but you guys like do this little like thing. What the fuck is that? Like I just hear there's like
that is that when energies are leaving.
Yeah.
And people have a purge, whatever release that is, but it's like still hanging around the space. And so what we do is just blow that energy out.
Gotcha.
And that's what it is.
I always think it's so funny. And sometimes the thing is like, again, I think I intuitively felt that, because I'll catch myself in ceremony when like after I've had some sort of big release or something like that, I'll literally just like be like, and I won't even notice myself doing it sometimes. Yeah. Like it'll just like come out and be like, that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody does that. Maybe not in that very specific way, but it's
Yeah.
like if you're done something, you're like,
Yeah, it's like
right?
a big sigh.
Yeah,
That's I know
and that's kind of what it is. And they do that. We do it a lot after a song,
Mhm.
because sometimes you like collect things and
Mhm.
accumulate things, and then you have like this big pile of shit you wanna get out, and then in the end you finish the song and you just blow the stuff out you accumulated.
Yeah.
Or also sometimes we use that blowing for putting good things in, because we're not just cleaning stuff and then leaving everything like open and empty. A big part of that work is also whatever you clean out, you also have to bring good stuff in.
Mm.
And so also blowing can be whatever you accumulate during a song of like good stuff, or like good thoughts and good relationships and good energies, and then the curandera blows that into someone.
Yeah.
And when they do the limpiezas at the end of a ceremony, limpiezas are personal cleanings, personal healings. They blow directly in your head or in your hands, and sometimes they whistle a little song in there, and also it's like cleaning stuff off, but then also putting good stuff in.
Yeah. Something that you were talking about this morning too, which is just like, again, fucking cool. Like, I never thought I'd be a person that believed in any of this shit at any point in my life. But talking about how during the limpiezas, oftentimes like either Lydia, who's doing the cleaning, or I guess like the person who's up there, like isn't able to purge themselves, and that energy will then go to somebody else in the room.
Yeah, that's a concept that's a little bit hard to understand if you've never been in an ayahuasca ceremony or done any energetic work. But yeah, like I said, every energy needs to be felt.
Mm-hmm.
And when the person who is doing the limpieza, the curandero or the curandera, they can feel it. They
Mm-hmm.
can't just stop and start crying or throwing up for 10 minutes. That's not working, right? They have a job to do, and this is the limpieza. And a lot of the times it can be really overwhelming being high on ayahuasca and sitting this far away from someone who sings in full intensity to you, where your whole body is shaking. It feels like your mind is like getting blown out of your head. And so sometimes, yeah, the people sitting for limpieza, they're just so overwhelmed by the experience that they can't feel anything. Or they just feel everything, right? And so therefore the energy needs to be felt one way or another. And sometimes the energy goes to someone else. Sometimes people there unconsciously volunteering, or they just had a thought earlier, so how can I help my neighbor who's been throwing up all night? I really want to do something because I have a great ceremony today. I have so much energy, so much to give today. And the man is like, you want to help them? All right. Let's see how it feels to feel an energy that's not yours, feel someone else's emotion. That happens a lot, where it's like all of a sudden you feel, whoa, I was like feeling so happy and now I'm really angry for no reason, right? And if you're not used to that, you don't make the connection.
Yeah.
But if you can distinguish between, okay, those are things I'm feeling, but there are also things that come from outside. And
that was a big part of my ceremony on Monday, was that like realizing that like I was feeling all these energies, and it just like occurred to me, I'm like, these are not my energies. Like this just isn't mine. And then there were some energies later on that like felt like it was still not mine, but it was like an accumulation of energies that I have willingly accepted for my entire life that were just like stuck there.
Yeah.
But like it still wasn't like I had no emotional connection to the energies whatsoever. It was just like there's energy inside of me that needs to be released.
And just to, like, there's a point to this, because even if that is coming from someone else, you're only able to feel it if there's something in you that's resonating.
Yeah.
And so even though you weren't dealing with anger, for example, in that ceremony, there's a part of you, that anger in you, that needs some healing. And so in the end, it doesn't matter if it's coming from you or someone else, because by you purging out that anger for someone else, you also purge out a part of you that needs to let go. And yeah, but then it gets like really complicated of like all the dynamics and how everybody in a ceremony is actually doing not just the work for themselves but also for others. Someone is working on anger, and someone is working on sadness, and someone is working on fear. Someone is working on bringing more happiness into their lives.
I was going to say, especially yesterday's ceremony, like there was one whole side of the room that seemed like they were working on the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And yeah, and so therefore people, they can, like as a group, you can work on so many things. And someone is like, okay, I'm gonna take care of this. It's like I'm a chef, and it's like being in a kitchen.
Yeah, you are.
So it's like, yeah, there are different roles, but in the end, every role is important. From the people who do the dishes to the one who does desserts and side dishes and the main components, and the one who's responsible for sauce and for soups and whatever. Because only if everybody does their job, in the end, you have a dish. Otherwise, you just have components that don't fit together.
Yeah, what'd you call that when somebody just gets all the purges during the limpieza?
Yeah, we call it dish pit. They're getting handed all the dirty dishes from ayahuasca, and they're scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. Been there many times before. Can be really fun if you can get used to it.
Yeah.
And if you also kind of know what is going on here.
Yeah.
If that happens to someone for the first time, they're just so confused, and the day after is like, can someone explain to me what was going on yesterday?
Just happened? Why was I puking for fucking an hour?
Right. And yeah. Those are like the little things behind the scene of an ayahuasca ceremony.
Yeah. I guess let's talk about this too, given that you are a chef and you are in charge of the food here and stuff. So like what's the real purpose of the fact that during these plant dietas that we're doing, which is obviously to like work with another plant besides ayahuasca, but like why is the food have to like no salt, no sugar? Like what do all these dietary restrictions actually do?
So the thing with specifically a plant diet, things like salt or sugar or lime, those are very grounding, and on an energetic level they're also protective. Like, you know, people do like salt circles around their bed or whatever. And if you're doing a diet and you want to connect with an energy or a spirit, you want to be open. You can only do that if there is a safe energetic space, not just in a ceremony, but for the whole retreat. And that's why you have curandero holding that diet for you, which means they hold the space, the energetic safe space for you to be energetically open in order to connect with something outside of you. And that's why we don't have any spices in there, and yeah, no salt, no lime, things like that. Certain other foods, they just don't go too well with ayahuasca itself. Everything is like fermented, can be like physically very uncomfortable drinking ayahuasca, because ayahuasca also ferments over time. And then you just have I don't know what, like the chemicals that are being produced during a fermentation process, but that can just be like too much for the body. And
God, it's so gross.
Also, they do this in many different practices. When you go, I don't know, I've been to India a lot, and if you go to an ashram, you do a yoga meditation retreat, something like that, you have also very plain food, because the food isn't important in that process. And therefore, I wouldn't say...
Like it's just fuel, essentially. It's not like...
and I'm still always happy with the food we provide here, but nobody needs to get excited about it.
Yeah.
Right? And therefore people are like, okay, I'm just eating because, I just need energy in the body. And, but nobody's like constantly going from meal to meal and have that be the whole experience. That's not the point. And so that's why we have very plain food, but it's not as traditional. Because in a Shipibo tradition, you would do a diet not just for a week or two, but you would do that for a month or 2 or 3 in isolation. And all you eat, you get 1 or 2 meals a day, and all you eat is boiled plantains and fish. That's the whole diet for however long you're doing at the Yitta.
Every single day.
Same
exact thing.
Same exact
Zero
thing.
variety.
And so we have a lot of variety. There are certain fruits that don't contain too much sugar. And also for us it's important that people have energy.
Yeah.
For the diet it wouldn't be as important, because like, you can just lay in a hammock all day, you don't need energy at all. But for the ayahuasca ceremony, you need a lot of physical energy and also mental energy to process all of the things. And therefore we need people being energized. And that's why we have a lot of variety in there. And have a couple of fruits and but that's why everything is like plain and no salt, no spices in there. And also it just makes that cleaning process way easier, because we come here, especially coming from Western society, we put so much shit in our bodies. And so a big part of what ayahuasca does in the beginning of that process is cleaning you out physically.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the times in the first couple of ceremonies, people, they throw up a lot, they shit a lot. And that just makes the cleaning process way easier, like also easier on the body. If you don't have any salt and any acids in your food and any spices, throwing up isn't that bad.
Yeah.
But if you, have a cheeseburger and some fries and then you drink ayahuasca at night, it can be a really nasty purge. It can be really, really nasty.
Just thinking about that.
There are many reasons for having a very plain, healthy diet. And it's boring, but also only as boring as you make it to be. So we do our best, and I think we're doing a good job here.
I mean, I was gonna say, as far as what the food needs to be and how it's going, especially compared to Dream Glade, like you guys are, you right there, you're fucking killing it.
Thank you.
I appreciate you and all of this. And also, Kevin made this delicious banana bread cake thing over the weekend when we were off Dieta. That was fucking unreal. You are a good chef. You're a really good chef.
Thank you.
I appreciate you and everything that you do here. To be honest, I don't really have anything more off the top of my head here. I'm getting kind of tired.
Yeah.
So
it was a long night yesterday.
I got like, I don't know, maybe I was in and out of sleep pretty much the whole time, having to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom again and all that shit. I was also still high for probably about at least 2 to 3 hours after the ceremony ended.
Yeah.
So the fact that our energy's been this good this whole time is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
So I guess is there anything else that you'd like to share in order to wrap up here?
Just to say, I'm so grateful that we are sitting together doing a podcast again from now a very different points in our lives. And
we both have beards now.
We don't both have beards. I have shorter hair but a longer beard.
I have longer hair and
and a little bit of a longer beard.
A little bit of stubble,
Yeah, and I'm so happy you came to the retreat. I'm so happy we get to do this now, and also I'm so happy you're gonna be around for quite a while in Peru and spend some more time with you. And yeah, and also very excited to see your process. And yeah, I'm just so happy for you that you came here, and also really thank you for doing that work, for all your podcast you're doing, this beautiful opportunity for people to share their experiences in a safe space. And what I said before, one person can reach a lot of people, and yeah, just that, you doing that work on yourself, but also therefore helping so many other people out there. And even if they can't come here for whatever reason, they gonna receive a little bit of the healing that you've got here, and you've giving to yourself, healing yourself, and therefore healing others. And that's so beautiful to me. Thank you.
I fucking love you, dude.
I love you.
Oh my God. I'm so grateful to be here again. Like, thank you guys for everything. Like, I knew this was the right decision. When I made it, like, I was pretty sure, honestly, right when we got here, this was going to end up happening. I just needed to get a couple things in order. But yeah, man, I mean, this has been, you know, every ceremony just keeps getting better, and keeps teaching me more, and keeps helping me heal more things, learn more about myself and all that. And I'm, you know, amazed at how much wisdom I continue to receive, and how much knowledge, and like how much deeper that I can still go. And yeah, just so fucking grateful. So thank you. I love you.
Thank you.
To the people watching this, make sure, if you enjoyed this, to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel or whatever podcast platform that you're listening to this on. And if you are interested in going a little bit deeper too, I do have a Patreon in which we can actually kind of tap in with more people in the community that want to have these conversations, or just fuck around and get to know each other. And you need one-on-one stuff with me or anything like that. But yeah, be sure to check all that out. And then also check out Sowa Charana, which will be linked in the description of this podcast if you are interested in working with ayahuasca. Like I said at the beginning, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, cannot recommend a better place. That's a wrap. Thank you all. I love you. I love you, Kevin. I love you, ayahuasca. I trust you and love you, God. And till next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.